You know, we live in this world that's screaming at us to be connected, like 24/7. But have you ever stopped to think, what if the real power is actually in disconnecting? That's what we're diving into today. We're going to explore solitude, but not as this scary thing to avoid. No, we're looking at it as a source of some seriously incredible, untapped strength.
Wow. I mean, that quote right there it completely flips the script on how we're supposed to think about being by ourselves, right? It goes right after that deep-seated belief that being alone means you're unwanted or broken. And that's really the core of what we're talking about today. What if walking alone is actually your superpower?
Okay, so to really get a handle on that power, we first have to tear down a huge misconception. We're going to tackle what I call the myth of the crowd. Let's get to the bottom of why our culture is so confused about the difference between being alone and being lonely.
I mean, just think about it for a second. From the time we're kids, we're basically taught that being popular means you're winning at life. You know, seeing someone sitting alone at lunch is framed as this tragic event. All that constant social pressure, it programs us to see solitude not as a choice, but as a failure. Like you failed to connect. It gets painted as this sad, really undesirable thing.
And this right here, this is the heart of it. This is the crucial difference. See, loneliness is that painful, involuntary feeling of being isolated. It's a lack of connection that you're actually craving. But solitude? Oh, that's something else entirely. That's an intentional, positive choice. It's about choosing to be with yourself because you genuinely want to be. So you see, one is an absence, but the other is a presence, the presence of you.
All right, so now that we've drawn that really important line in the sand, let's completely reframe this whole idea of isolation. Forget seeing it as a weakness. From here on out, we're going to look at it for what it truly is, a profound source of personal strength and power.
And this is the key thing to get. Choosing to walk alone doesn't mean nobody wants to walk with you. Not at all. It means you're self-sufficient. It means you don't need that constant pat on the back, that external validation to feel whole or to know what you're worth. Your sense of self, it comes from in here, from within, not from whether the crowd approves. You know, there's actually a name for this kind of self-sufficiency. It's a really powerful concept called Solitude Capacity, and it's all about how we find that feeling of being whole from the inside out. So what is solitude capacity? Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a muscle. It's your ability to just be with yourself, to sit in the quiet and feel complete. And just like any muscle, the more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. Maybe you do that by taking a walk without your headphones, or just sitting with your coffee for 5 minutes without scrolling through your phone. It's what allows you to find that peace, that clarity, without always needing some distraction to feel okay.
And that leads to a question I really want you to ask yourself. How strong is your capacity to be alone with your own thoughts? Like really, how comfortable are you when it's just you? Is your mind a peaceful place to hang out, or is it somewhere you're constantly trying to escape from? Your honest answer to that says a lot about your solitude capacity right now.
But here's where it gets really interesting. This inner work, this building of solitude capacity, it doesn't just change you. It completely transforms how you see your relationships with other people. Seriously, spending time alone gives you this new crystal clear lens to look at something like loyalty.
Think about it. When you step back from the constant performance, the busyness of social life, you suddenly get a much better view. It's like you're on a hill looking down. And from there, you start to see the real difference between the people who are with you for who you are and the ones who are just with you for what you can offer them in that moment.
And that's the bottom line, isn't it? True loyalty, that stuff shows up when things get hard. Convenience, on the other hand, well, that's a fair weather friend. And solitude is the tool that gives you the clarity to tell them apart. But how? Well, it's because when you're no longer terrified of being alone, you stop accepting connections just to fill the silence. You can take a step back and just observe. Is this person's presence consistent? Or does it kind of fade away the second you're not so easy or fun to be around?
Okay, so let's start to bring all these threads together. What it all comes down to is this. The path you walk, especially when you choose to walk it alone, it reveals so much, not just about the world around you, but more importantly, about yourself.
So, what are the big takeaways here? What does this journey into solitude actually give us? Well, it is so much more than just being by yourself. It's about finding a profound, quiet strength. It's about building this deep self-sufficiency so you can stand on your own 2 feet. It's about gaining what feels like X-ray vision into your relationships. And ultimately, it's about walking one of the most direct paths there is to truly, genuinely knowing who you are. And that really brings us to the final and maybe most important question. Because this isn't just some abstract concept we've been talking about, right? It's a real, lived experience for all of us. So I'll leave you with this to think about. How has your solitude changed you? How have those moments you've spent alone, the good and the bad, shaped the person you are today? The answer to that? Well, that might just be the most important discovery you ever make.